Yo, what is going on, guys? This is the Fish 119 here bringing you guys another World of Warships video. And today we are going to be reviewing the ODIN German battleship. Now, as you guys know, we are on the road to 70 subscribers, so if you could please consider subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to me and it helps the channel out a ton too when you do. So with that out of the way, let's get into the review. So with our ship we have, for our first upgrades, we have Aiming Systems Mod 2, which is very important for the ODIN. This battleship is not like the other German battleships. It's kind of like the Scharnhorst in a way, but it has way better dispersion, so consider that. Oh, I just unlocked something. Well, guys got to see that? Okay, with that out of the way too. Yeah, we have Aiming Systems Mod because we want to have that good dispersion, and that would really help our ship too, so consider that when you're upgrading your ODIN, if you get one. Next, we're going to have propulsion mod so our ship can go slightly faster when we are starting the engines up so we can get to full acceleration quicker. You could probably also go with a damage control or steering, but that's completely up to you. I would probably go damage control if I didn't go propulsion, so that could work. Another thing, if you want to do secondaries, you could do that too, but I'm not going to do that with this build. So for our third upgrade we have Targeting Acquisition System 1. So that increases our spotting range to 20%, torpedo range 20%, and RGA F ships 50%. So, you know, that's an upgrade right there. And for the last final upgrade, we have Main Battery Mod 3, so we can get our main battery reload to minus 12%, which gives us a 17-second reload for a battleship, which is extremely good. You probably can also go this with the secondary route too if you want to make this a secondary build, which they also can work, but I'm not going to really do that with this ship because its main focus are its guns. It has better guns than Scharnhorst, in my opinion. They can hit slightly harder, so that's what they go with. So moving on to our stats. The ship has 62,700 hit points, which is really good, and a 22% damage reduction in torpedoes, which is also quite good. The artillery, 305mm guns. Not that powerful, but they can still pack a punch. They're not like high caliber like Bismarck or Iowa, not like that, but they can still pack a punch. And they can fire to 17.2 kilometers, which is pretty good. Scharnhorst has a better firing range than that. I think it has 18.2, but this still also works. And it's reload. One of the main things about the ship that is so good, if you get that reload booster thing, it will upgrade it to 17.6 instead of like a 20 or 21 second reload. So that's also very good. And the turn time for 180 degrees for your guns is 34.5 seconds. You know, you don't really want to have to be turning the guns all that much, but if you do need to, that's how long it will take. Drinking some good old water right there, you know, fish needs it. Alright, so HE shell damage can do 3,600 damage with one shell. That's the max damage it can do. And the chance for fire is 27%, pretty good for a battleship. And so that can also work. So your AP shell damage can also be 9,682 damage for one shell. That's the maximum damage. And so that's pretty good. We're not going to get into secondaries. I don't think that's as important. But as you can see, you can look at the stats if you really want to on here as you're watching this, and pause it and look at it. So torpedoes. There are, I think, 4 torpedoes on each side. Yep, 4 torpedoes, and it takes 90 seconds to reload those torpedoes. 180 degree turn time for those are 6 seconds. Pretty good. And, hold on. Yeah, 13,700 damage is your maximum damage that you're going to get with one torpedo hit if it hits in the right spot. And the range that they are detected by can be 1.3 kilometers. Your torpedo range on this ship and also Scharnhorst would be 6 kilometers, and they travel at 64 knots. Moving on to maneuverability of this ship, it can go at 30.9 knots, which is pretty good for a battleship. It's technically a battle cruiser, but it's pretty fast, and it's one of the best things about these ships. They're fast, They have decent armor, and yeah, they're just fast. And the turning stroke radius 790 meters, not too bad. And the rudder shift time is 14.1 seconds. Moving on to concealment, it's a battleship, so you're gonna be seen. You know, we don't really need to talk about that. And on to the overview of ODIN. It has above average armor thickness, greater resistance to all forms of armor penetration, which is pretty good. It's also fast, and it has the modest guns, which means they're lower caliber main battery guns. So that's an important thing to think about when you're using the ship. They cannot be everything in the game, but they are pretty good. Moving on to our commander, we have Otto Celiax as our commander, and we have Andrew Cunningham and Takeo Takagi. Those are our inspirations. I might end up changing that eventually. Takeo Takagi, excuse me. I had a really hard time saying that right there. But I might end up changing him, but I also like having him so I can repair more when my ship is damaged, which is also pretty good, because the Germans don't get the greatest heal, so I like to have that. Alright, so for our first trait we have a good day's work, which is it's reducing our damage control reload. You could probably also go with Brawler if you really wanted to, but I'm not going to personally do that. For our next trait we have Porcupine, increased secondary battery range, shell grouping, and accuracy for any ship. Probably also go with this if you really wanted to, if you want to have that better traverse speed, but I'm not going to do that. And also have On Second Thought, which means if I need to switch real quick to another shell group type, like armor penetrating power or the HE shell, I can switch fairly quick. I think it's 12 seconds, so I want to just switch it real quick, so that's pretty good. And reaching out, increase their main battery range, which is always lovely. I like doing that. And will to rebuild, increase the HP when you are damaged. That's also very nice. And currently this commander I think is yeah, he's a level 11, legendary level 1, so as you can see we still need to do a lot of ranking up on this commander. Not a lot, but I want to get this guy to 16 eventually. So that's the stats of the ship, and now we're going to get into the gameplay. Alright, so now we are into the gameplay section, and we are playing on Sleeping Giant, and it is a domination match. And as you guys already know, we're in the ODIN, so yeah, we're gonna be in the ODIN. Take a sip of water real quick, because I'm thirsty. I'm a fish, need my water. Absolutely delicious. Now, one of the main things about this ship, as I said earlier, is the speed. It's very fast. It can move out of the way when you need to. There's like torpedoes. It can move pretty well out of the way. And the reload on the ship is pretty good too. It only has a 17-second main battery reload, which is amazing for this ship. Now, as you can see, we are going to the left side, it looks like, of the map. Yeah, we're going to the left side. And there's the destroyer going off to the right. Who knows what he's going to be doing. And we are just going to be going in there trying to find any ship to shoot at. As you can see, we currently have high explosive load because we do not know what we're going to run into. Could be a destroyer, could be a battleship, could be a cruiser. So we're going to load high explosive first because this ship can handle high explosive and armor piercing. Usually when I'm in a battleship, I'm not going to be using high explosive unless I'm in a British or German battleship like this, like Scharnhorst, like Odin. Or if you're in King George V, you can also do that, and it works out somewhat well, fairly well for a battleship. So we're just going to go in here, see if we can spot anybody. We're going to lock our guns to that side, make sure if there is anyone over there, they're locked there, so they're already ready to fire. Okay, so he spotted us, turrets way out in the distance, and now we are spotted. So we are currently just trying to find out where this guy is who is spotting us. Now we are spotted by an aircraft, which is not really good. And there's an Odin off in the distance. Disappears. And then we see Ashores, one of the Russian cruisers. I think it's a tier 7. We're going to switch back to armor piercing because we want to be able to deal some extra damage to him. We didn't land any shots that time. We overled him. He started to slow down. And one of the other things about this, you can battle tank shells pretty well on this ship, which is pretty good. You can handle it. As you see, we're going to fire back at him, try to see if we can get any damage off him. Some decent damage, 4,000 damage in that salvo. Not too bad. But we're going to continue pummeling him and seeing if we get any other better hits on this guy. One of the things that makes this better than Scharnhorst too is the fact that it has better dispersion and a better fire rate. Scharnhorst, I think, has a 20-second reload, maybe. It's a little bit slower, or maybe it's a little bit longer, 25, 20, somewhere around there. But, yeah, it's one of the really good things about this. That quick reload and the dispersion on it is pretty good, but the dispersion right there wasn't very good. So we're going to switch back to high explosive because he is slightly angled and we are not doing very much into his armor. We're just ricocheting, not doing very much to him. So we're going to see if we can do anything with this salvo and make it work. And currently no other ships are shooting at us, so we can continue withering down the shores. He is our main priority. He has the more damage value. He can put out a lot more damage than battleships can. So we're just going to try to take him out first before we think about anybody else. Currently there's an enemy Odin also on our side. But I'm pretty sure there's a Vladivostok with us currently behind us. I'm not sure if he's shooting at anyone right now, but he's doing something. So we're just going to keep firing at him. Eventually we'll get him. You know, it's taking a while because he's a smaller target. And he's being kind of hard to hit, keeps dodging, you know, weaving around. That Odin is also shooting at us, being a very annoying person. And there we go, we got a better salvo right there. Some more damage off him. And will we be able to finish him off before someone steals the kill? Take that shot right there. Here comes the Vladivostok, runs right into us. We're going to blow our horn at him, because we don't like him. And we get first blood and destroy the shores. Now it's time for us to deal with the Odin and any other ships that get in our way. So that's one less cruiser threat to deal with. We already are up to 29,000 damage. 27 shots hit, excuse me. It's kind of blurry on my screen. It's a little bit smaller, so it's harder for me to see it. We also have four incapacitations. So there's that Odin. He's still shooting at us. We're going to switch to high explosive because he is going away from us. He's a harder target to hit, and then we're going to switch back to armor piercing. And then we spot a Tirpitz is giving us complete broadside, which is a miracle. So we're about to take this shot at him because he has broadside. Why not? The other ship is not, and he's not really posing a huge threat. He's sailing away. So we're going to take this shot right there. And let's see what happens. And that was a really good salvo right there. We took a good amount of health away from him with these small caliber guns. That's one thing that you can expect with a ship when you're fighting other ships in their broadside, other battleships, and cruisers too. You can take a big amount of health off of them if they're giving broadside, but don't always expect it. Don't always expect that to happen. As you can see, he returns fire to us, and he takes a good chunk of our health away too. So now we're up to 66,000 damage, and we have a fire burning on the Odin, I think it is. I think it's Odin. Yeah, it's Odin. And we're going to continue just firing on the Tirpitz. And now he's basically has no health left, and he is now downed by someone else. And now we're up to 77,000 damage, excuse me. And we have had one fire so far this game that we've given the ships. Now we're going to start firing back at the Odin because he is slightly broadside. He's still a little bit angled, but he's still giving us a better angle than he was earlier, so we're going to start shooting at him now. And now we just need to get out into open water because we are kind of just in a little channel right now, so we're going to get out of here. Take another sip of my water because I'm thirsty. Fire back the Odin real quick. See what happens with that salvo. But, yeah, I keep saying that the speed of this ship is very good. It's better than Scharnhorst in a lot of ways. It has better punching capability. I think we're going to shoot at the Bismarck since he's coming in broadside too. He's a better target than the other ODIN. So we're going to shoot at him real quick, see what we get from it. And we take a good chunk of health away from him now at 86,000 damage. Now we're going to start to slow down because his secondaries are battering us. And now they have stopped firing. So now we are safe to go forward because the secondaries cannot reach us anymore. Looks like we also have a friendly Boise coming up to help us too, so that's always appreciated. We have someone behind us, or in front of us, excuse me, capping the base, it looks like. So currently we are winning the game by points, and by also we have completely spanked the enemy team. And there we go. The Nagato takes our Scharnhorst, so we are one less ship, but they don't have very many. And it's just, you know, they're not going to make it much longer. So we're going to take some more shots at Bismarck, try to set him on fire if possible. That wasn't an HE salvo, but we do have HE ready for when he comes around. Boise decides to run right into us. This is the second time people have tried to run into us. Yeah, I'm not happy with him right there. But it's not a big deal. Like, it's not like it can do any damage to my ship, so I'm not going to get mad at him about it. I don't really care that much. So we're starting to get out into open water. There's an ODIN and a Bismarck that we have to worry about. I don't know where the other guys are, probably all the way across the map, so we're only going to worry about this ODIN and this Bismarck. They are the biggest threats currently. So we're just going to sail right towards them, see what we can do to them. As you can see, one of the Colorado ships was taken down, and then the Bismarck gets our Vladivostok, so that's not a good thing. But they are only having 3 ships, and we have more, so what do you think is going to happen, guys? Alright, now we got the Bismarck sailing towards us again. We're going to use our HE, I think, for this salvo. Try to set him on fire, possibly. Get some burning damage on him. Fire at him. Let's see what happens. And there we go. We set him on fire for our second fire of the game, and now we are up to a total of 96,000 damage, which is pretty good for the ODIN. We're checking our torpedoes just to make sure no one destroyed our torpedoes on that side. Because this Bismarck looks like he's about to come in close, and we want to be able to torpedo him possibly. Fire some HE at him. Don't get a fire, sadly. We get 1 penetration. Checking our torpedoes once again, even though the torpedo range is only 6 kilometers. I should know this. And now we're going to fire our torpedoes because he is within range, and he is sailing somewhat towards us. Now another thing with this ship, you can probably go full secondary build if you really wanted to, but I think with this it's going to work better with if you're using the aiming systems and stuff like that, because it can just help you significantly. Let's see, can we finish Bismarck off? Yes, we can. We finish him. And now we're up to 119,000 damage. 119,000, yes, excuse me. I'm getting all types confused today. And now there's one last enemy ODIN that we were fighting earlier. And we're going to take 1 salvo at him. Is it going to finish him? Is it even going to hit him? No, it doesn't hit him somehow. The dispersion was good, it just didn't hit him. And our friendlies take him out with their shot. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and that's the review. So hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching.